I'll start. My daily life, I deal with low to moderate levels of anxiety. Like nothing crazy to where I'm pinning back and forth or like I just lay down in my bed with just like certain thoughts of not being enough or not knowing if what I'm doing is good enough.
Anxiety hasn't really been much of a thing for me, but recently I have. It's not like a heart beating, pounding type stuff, but it's kind of like to an extent. I guess it's been more frequent than usual now, so that was pretty interesting to me. But I guess anxiety on average is moderate to low, really, like you said.
It's been like a lot more lately due to like stuff going on around me, but yeah, I say moderate.
I would say the same thing, like moderate, but like sometimes it'll be like high, like very high anxiety.
Usually my nervousness isn't really crazy. It just depends on like what classes I have and stuff. But growing up, I was kind of nervous. I would like walk and like across the room and stuff, I wouldn't even notice I was doing that, but it just varies on the day.
I would say I deal with like moderate anxiety. Lately it's been more because of school. Like I'm constantly worrying about my grades and stuff and like about my future and what I'm gonna do after high school and stuff.
I like how you said, you walk back and forth when you get nervous. Yeah, for me, when that's like heavy, like nervousness, I just drink a whole bunch of water. I just be drinking water. Like it's like it don't help at all, but I just be doing it. I've been doing that a lot too.
Instead of walking like back and forth, just go in circles.
Well, where does that anxiety start for you guys? Like what's something that may trigger it? For me, like I said, it's simply thinking about my future. The second I'm in a situation like with school, if I'm not getting the grades or the GPA average that I really want, that's when it strikes and I'm just thinking like, uh-oh, what do I do now?
Me too.
Like I get worried. What about you guys?
I think for me, it just starts with a thought. Like it's just that one thought and it starts to grow more and more and more. And I feel like I mainly get it at night. Like be up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, just chilling next to like that random thoughts just start going through. And it's like, okay, what the heck? So yeah, for me, it just starts with that thought and then it just progresses more and more and more.
Yeah, I agree with you with the thought. Like it just progressively, like you think about it more and like more and more, like so, it just gets in your head so much. And what also triggers it, like being overpressured. Like
What I think you were talking about like the colleges and stuff, and like what am I doing in the future? I feel like I do get anxiety about it sometimes, but I feel like everything happens for a reason and everything's gonna fall into place.
I don't know, I get that full anxiousness of like, they're gonna tell me something about my grade and stuff, but that's the most started for me, like getting more anxiety, is just my grades.
The way I see my friends deal with anxiety is like, I feel like they try and find that calmness through drugs or whatever it may be. And it's like, I just kind of like, okay, I understand that, but it's like, you're not gonna find what you need through drugs or sex or anything like that, because it's just like, that feeling is temporary. So it's like, okay, you got what you wanted for that moment, and it's just like, you kind of want to keep going back to it. But it's like, I understand that some people don't know how to cope with their anxiety. So it's like, okay, like, I can't control what you do, but I can try and help you. But it is sad seeing my friends go through it, because even if people around me in my class, like, they'll tell me about like how it's kind of to an extent just like crippling anxiety. It's like, it's hard for them to even associate with other people, because it's like, they say like, it scares me, like doing stuff like that. It's like, it keeps them there, so.
For me, the way that I see my friends deal with anxiety, I really see it through behavior and conversation. Like I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're opening up to me really fast. I can notice that like this person is pretty anxious about something. I like a behavior they may have, like they're acting out in big crowds to be seen. I can see like they're looking for confirmation somewhere. They're looking for it to be accepted, like for a piece, like for a laugh. But they're not just looking for a laugh to make everybody else feel good. They're looking for a laugh to make themselves feel good. because they're anxious about whatever situation they have going on.
Like basically it's like music, but some people do drugs. I've seen some of them. And the friend that listened to music, she just like drifts away with calm music. Like it just relates to them. And some like they're clueless of how to deal with it. They feel stressed about it.
The way I see my friends coping with anxiety is just music, like you said. And I do that as well. It's just listening to music 24/7. I always have my AirPods on, and it's always like on noise cancellation. So when people even like talk to me, like I don't even hear them. It's just like a way of like getting everything around you just like to get away. And it's just like my bubble when I hear the music.
Sometimes like they just like come to me and like they tell me about like all their problems and everything, because I guess like they don't have someone to talk to about everything. Or I see some other friends, they like smoke and do drugs, and it's like sad seeing them do that stuff. But I just don't really know how to help them. And then like I start getting worried for them, and I feel like I have to do something, but that just brings more anxiety onto me. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of friends just come to me and talk about their problems, and I just stress me out, like what do I say,
Yeah,
or like how to help them. Like,
sometimes I don't know how to respond. So
yeah, I just think about like for hours, like what do I do? What do I do?
You don't want to feel like you're trying to tell them what to do, how to live
Yeah,
their life.
you just don't want to judge them at all.
For me, it's like finding that one person who like kind of relates to you, and like being able to talk to them about it, or finding someone to talk to about like what you're going through. But like I like to keep a lot to myself, because I don't want people to like be worried for me or anything.
Like I don't have like people worrying about me, like what I do. I just like listen to music and just calms it off, and I'm like just the calm person at that moment.
You said the reason why you don't tell people is because you don't want them to worry about you?
Yeah, I just don't want them to worry about me.
I definitely feel you guys with that, like being like somebody that they always think like, oh, you're so happy, you're so always energetic. The second you tell somebody like, oh, I'm worried about this, they start looking at you like, I didn't say nothing crazy. I just said I don't understand.
Take my mind off it, whether it be talking to a friend or playing a game or whatever it may be, just let it not get to me to where it's just like, I can't do anything else but focus on this. So, yeah.
Yeah, hanging out with friends helps a lot. And like, I don't know, just like thinking about other things.
And just like remembering things that people have told me how to cope with anxiety, like meditation, or just like even just having a genuine talk with God is just like releasing everything. And but listening to music is just something I've been coping with anxiety more.
One way I've been dealing with anxiety too lately is really starting to appreciate everything that I see around me, like friendships, conversations, not just look at them as just conversations, but like these are memories and these are experiences that you're building with people, because like it takes your mind off of the future, because you start to look at people different. You start to understand people and realize that we all go through the same things. Like you're not exempt. Everybody probably deals with anxiety.
Yeah. For me, with anxiety, like you said, praying, and it's like recently I finally been able to get, I don't want to say more transparent with God because He knows everything, but it's like being more heartfelt about it, like telling Him, okay, this is really how I feel. Like I would do that, but it's like it wouldn't be heartfelt, really. So I'm trying to do that more often, which is tight.
Sometimes I do go to God and start praying to Him and just say like release any like anxiety that I may have inside.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Like you said, going to God with an honest heart and a genuine heart, because like what I've been noticing lately with my anxiety is like I could say like, oh, I'm dealing with this, I have anxiety. When I go to God, I really start to analyze my thoughts and realize, where is this really stemming from? Like, what part of my future am I worried about?
I don't really go to God as much as I probably should. So like, I don't really go to Him for anxiety like at all, but like as I probably should. But like, I don't know.
Well, how do you deal with it?
Like I just kind of just like wait for it to go away. honestly.
Yeah,
That's it.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you get stuck in anxiety. Like, even though sometimes you know all the tools, you know the things that can help you, sometimes it takes over and you just get stuck in that thought, and you get stuck in that moment and you don't really move from it. You kind of just sit, or you just walk around with that thought just like a cloud over your head for the next couple hours until it just goes away and the sun comes back out.
I think for me, it's just like trusting God and knowing that He has a plan for me, because sometimes I get like worried about like my future and everything, like you were saying. But it's just He has like what He wants to happen in my life. So I just have to like try not to rush things and want things to go my way, but the way He wants it. Like, I don't know what God is calling me to do. Like, I'm just confused on a lot of things right now. But I think just like trusting that what He wants to do in my life is gonna happen. So.
But sometimes I really just have to sit and meditate on God's love and grace. Like, even if I'm not doing His will, even if I'm not taking those right steps at the moment, He still loves me. He still is going to accept me. And if I'm not, He's going to get me back on the right track. He's going to give me those signs too. And He gives me a lot of peace to deal with my anxiety when He gives me confirmation that I'm doing the right things. And like, that's the thing that really puts me at ease, is when He gives me confirmation that I'm doing His will.